Yeah, so these are entire module is dependent on other modules. Okay, so individually cannot be run, but microservices are implemented to run independently. Okay, microservices small component, it can be run uh, very easily, but this is very difficult to run. If something goes down, you will be stuck with some there only. Okay, you cannot run something. So currently in the market everyone are doing microservices. Monolithic services are not getting implemented because uh, it's not easy to maintain. Okay, if some uh, bug bug comes or defect comes, so the if developer fix the defect, it may affect other components as well, because independent components so many are there. Okay, so microservices independently can be executed. Okay, with very less dependency. Okay, suppose microservice if needs one API on the top to execute some, like max to max one or two APIs. Okay, one or two APIs dependency will be there. If something, if they make dependency, if there is no option, if they don't have any other option, but here monolithic will happen. Suppose I want to execute, suppose payment gateway, they will depend on, to work this payment gateway, they will depend on almost, okay, APIs on top of this. Okay, if these works, then only this will work. So you got it right. What is this? Small component can be executed with very less dependency microservice. Okay, this is not easy. Okay, so we don't need that much level, but yeah, let's understand it, because uh, it's good to know that. Uh, okay, so next one we have seen REST versus SOAP. Okay. REST versus SOAP. REST supports JSON and XML. SOAP supports only XML, and SOAP is little slow than REST, because REST is a lightweight and SOAP is a like XML format is not a lightweight. Okay, and everywhere is used SOAP, REST in the present market, and SOAP is not used much. So that we have seen. And yesterday someone is asked like what is the difference between API and a web service. Yeah, I am going through about this. Okay, to make you understand, give me some more time to keep it in simple way, because it's like if I explain to you, it's a very like confusing right now. Even like I am trying to find out like what is the main difference and how I can make you to understand very easily without forgetting. Okay, there are these things. Okay, interaction between two machines over a network, and API is two different applications. Okay, just I'm trying to separate it and make it very easy. Even after seeing this, even I am getting confused if I explain to like this. Okay, so give me some more time and I will explain you in maybe today or like tomorrow or day after tomorrow something. Okay, I'm trying to make some more like very clean about this topic. Okay, to you, to explain you. Okay, and upstream and downstream, I'm yesterday I did not tell you. Okay, so uh, like as I said, okay, upstream is something like, your API will work if upstream API works. Okay, as I said, okay, suppose some API which is there, like suppose loans. Okay, this loans will work, okay, if get accounts API works, because here we are having account number. Okay, that account number will be utilized in the loans. Account number which we get on the above one, okay, which is get accounts. Get accounts API. So this is upstream call, get accounts. Okay, so downstream, okay, downstream is something is used on API, like like uh, it depends on upstream services. Okay, so this is depends on, okay, this service. Okay, this will not work without this. This is a upstream service for this service. Okay, this is upstream service for loans, right? Is depend. This is called upstream service for this service. Okay, loan service. Okay, for this loan service, this is upstream service. Okay, now if the upstream services are removed, okay, the downstream service won't work properly. If this is removed, okay, this, if we remove get loans, get account number, this will not work. So that's why this is called downstream service. This is called downstream service for this service. For this service, get accounts. This is a downstream service because which is used upstream service data. If without this, it will not work. So how we can say definition for downstream service? Definition are however, okay, downstream service is a service depends on other service to work. Other service to execute, to whatever, to get execute this. Is any confusion here? Without upstream service, this will not execute. One example for downstream service is interface of our applications. Let's take one banking application, which we are using web application, web net banking or whatever. Okay, sometimes they says or they send a message that banking services won't be available from 9 to 5 p.m. Why this message comes to us? Because upstream services, which are backend services, which is used by front end to show to you, okay, web application to show you the as a web application, that is down. The backend services are down, so you will not be able to see the front end. That's why user interface for our applications are downstream. Okay, so backend, whatever APIs are there, okay, to provide the data to you, okay, those are upstream for the user interface applications. Is it any confusion? If still, personally I will discuss with you, or to make you more understandable, ask me after the class. Okay, so all the front end which you are able to see the user interfaces, these are downstreams, because these are utilized some APIs in the background, and the data is fetching and showing visible to the user. If those are not working, this user interface will not be able to see. Okay, suppose something, if I open any of the website, I will show you. Suppose so whenever you are whenever you are working on API testing, okay, always keep inspect element and keep the network tab open. I will tell you why. Okay, network tab open and keep, okay, XHR as selected. Okay, am I recording this? Okay, I am recording. Okay, keep XHR calls. Okay, these are what will happen if I open this network and XHR. All the API calls will be listed here whenever you are seeing some web application. Okay, now if I refresh it, I will get the which all the services are utilized this front end web application. Okay, you will be able to see. I will refresh now. It will list out the network calls. 1 minute. XHR we selected. Any other thing we missing? Filter. Okay. Suppose let's go to continue. Something we'll do. 1 minute. I will check with some other website. Let's see. Something like bookmarks. Okay, let's take something. We should get the network calls which are used. Okay, so XHR, I am clicking on this. See, like this, all the calls will be listed which are getting called. Okay, what happened here again? So if you see, these are the network calls which is happening. Okay, if you see status for 200s which are coming 200s, that means those are working fine, which are utilized this front end application, those services which are called APIs. Okay, these are the few APIs which is used to build this application, right? Anything, any questions here? Suppose whenever you are something is not working, suppose if I am going and if I am going some place, if it is showing 404, okay, we can see in the network calls what is the data which is going to display that. Okay, so I will go to if I want to explain, wanted to display only one or two API calls, then it is easy to show you actually more better way. Okay, let's try to log in into this because these are static web page. That's why no calls are getting displayed. Let's log in. Maybe it should work. Let's see. Does it display something or not? If we log in now, it should call some get a, like accounts and balance. So such kind of API call should happen. Let's see now. Still not happening. Why? Okay, maybe no calls. How no calls? Okay, how no calls? Now let's see. Okay, here we will not be able to see the banking applications. Right click to inspect also. Mouse right click is disabled. Then is there something else we can do? Okay, so but now okay, if you see other applications, let's go normal application which is HDFC loans maybe. At least they should give us some information when I click something because it's not a banking kind of application. It's a inquiry kind of thing, right? We will see whether some list of see if you see okay, you see all the things are getting listed which are used by the front end. So now if you see logout, okay, if I see logout, if I see preview, if I see headers, if I see response, okay, this logout, is it my application which I click logout? Maybe that is captured here. Okay, see if I see now we can see okay, this is my net banking application logout call which is okay, which is listed here, okay, in the XHR. So now you can understand what is the request URL. This is one URL of my logout functionality is utilized this API. Okay. In the same way, we may have login also, but it is not listed for us to see actually. But logout maybe not that much important as logging out from the application. Maybe that is getting recorded. Let's see. what all things are there in that, and what are things we can see. It is very important to how we are able to see, because if something going wrong, okay, I can find out the reason for failure here. Okay, whenever some API is failing, okay, in Postman we are seeing the however we are seeing, okay, what is the response it is coming. Okay, here also we can see what is happening. Okay, one way of debugging the failure. If it is passing, that is fine. Okay, you can see the response, what is the response is coming. Okay, that we'll see. So just understand, this is a downstream which is utilized few APIs to display the text. Okay, to fetch the data from the some API backend calls. Now see, method is get and status code is 200, and request headers. If you wanted to see request headers, what are going request headers. Okay, if I see preview, that is nothing is there. Response, okay, let's go. These are response headers, these are the request headers. If you see here, request headers, okay, authority, something is going, path, logout, scheme, accept encoding, accept language, cookie, origin. These are the headers which are going with request, logout request. This is the cookie ID. Okay, whenever I log in into the application, that will generate. Okay, so whenever I log out, that cookie will go as a input to the logout. So that when login, this is generated, and when logout, this is generated. So end to end is completed. Okay, this session ID will get expire now. Okay, now whenever I log in again, this will generate new one. Okay, so now let's come to preview. Okay, our response, the same thing will be there, because this is a response which is coming after getting executed by this. So however you are able to see the in Postman, I am able to see in the network calls in XHR. Any doubt here? So you may ask me, what is the difference between now Postman and this network calls and XHR calls? Okay, so I can say there in Postman, okay, in front end, in like in front end you are not able to see anything. Okay, just in back end you can see the response, what is coming and what is the error message coming. But here you will be able to see, okay, actually, okay, something is not getting displayed. Okay, to the front end, what is it is getting called. Okay, whenever I click something, what is it getting called and what is happening here. Okay, in backend you will not be able to see, just in Postman response is coming and that you can see. But here what is request is headers, and response what is coming here. See, response headers, these are response headers. Okay, and you are able to see what is the like what is the response is coming, and what is the request is going also you can see. Okay, these are the headers, and the request you should be able to see. Okay, as this is a get call, this doesn't have, okay, this doesn't have the body, so that's why you are not able to see the request body. But if something, if I take post call, that is not a get call, you will be able to see the that also. Okay, suppose fund transfer is head, not having, let's take one post call. Let's see if something post call comes. we will be able to. Okay, these are very basics, before working on API testing. Okay, so you may think that only backend we work. Okay, but those services are utilized in somewhere. Okay, if they says so in the backend something is happening. Okay, some error is coming for you. Okay, you can go to the front end by opening that application. If application is already designed by using that services, then only you can see. Okay, otherwise you cannot see. Some applications, okay, some APIs are already built in to the front end application, and some modifications they are doing, suppose in the existing services, then only it will be there. If application is like completely building from starting, okay, first they will build the services and they will deploy those services to the application slowly. Suppose if you take mobile application development is happening for one application. Mobile application in development is for suppose let's take one Oberoi hotels. They are building one mobile application. First they need to implement the services. Those services, okay, will be used by the mobile application, used by the web application. Already they have web application. Suppose this one. Okay, suppose one they may have one they have web application but they don't have mobile application. Okay, so whatever is used here, the services to display this text. Okay, to display this text, okay, whatever services are used, they need to use same services to the mobile applications as well. So these services are common for web and mobile application. So the calls here, just I wanted to tell, downstream, okay, is the web applications which you can see the or which is utilize the services data. Okay, fine, you got it. Okay, something we may went to some deeper, so anyway it's useful for you. You understood now, upstream downstream? Any doubt here? No doubt. Okay, now let's go to yesterday. What we thought to discuss today is response, sorry, no, requirements, understanding requirements, what is given, and how to understand the requirements, and what all things needed if you want to continue the testing. Okay, API testing for, and one more thing, try to understand synchronous and asynchronous. That's also a little big concept. I will tell you tomorrow. Okay, requirements, what all things are required for you, for us is service URL, that is in two parts, that is base URL plus endpoint URL. The same web application, suppose, which is just we will list out so that you will understand how it is, which we have seen these calls, right? Network calls somewhere. Okay, if I am okay, just I'm taking calls because we don't have some, we have some calls anyway, sample calls, rest assured. sample website where we have sample services which you can perform some operations. On page should be having okay this URL not saved anywhere, I think so. This okay. Anyway, I will give you that link. After this, we'll set that link. Somewhere I have in the Excel sheet somewhere. Okay, so Excel service. So URL will have base and endpoints URL. You need headers details. What headers you need to pass? Content type. Okay, something like they will pass something like ID something. Okay. Okay, it's up to them, but they will have okay some headers. Why headers? And what is the useful of headers? Few applications will have only content type. That means there is no security. Okay, security is very less here. Only sending only content type and nothing else. You can say default for all the default for all the services. Okay, this is okay. Application JSON will be there, but few services there may be okay so many headers. Okay, like user control, app ID, okay, app version. These kind of headers they will give to us. So this is called okay like more secured this one. Without this, will you able to access or will you able to execute this service? No, you will not be able to execute. Okay. Okay, these app IDs and versions, how others will know? Sometimes few values will be there that will generate okay that will be dynamic always. So it if you used suppose sometimes okay app ID is given by like 6 digits okay, and next time if you want to execute your service you need to change this value, then only your service will get executed. So such kind of headers also will be there. So we need to understand how and what kind of headers you have, and is there any unique value which you need to pass. So headers also you should have. Normally they will give, but we need to check like what kind of headers. Is there any uh, dynamic values or duplicate values it doesn't allow, or some values we need to pass from upstream calls. Is there anything like this? Upstream calls in the sense if there is a it is a dependent one on the other API. Okay, so that's it. Okay, so you need method, you need HTTP method which you wanted to perform. Before doing manual testing also, before writing scenarios also, you need all these things, otherwise you cannot write it. Okay, HTTP method, get or post, there are 4 methods are available. Okay, get, post, put, delete. We will discuss more on this anyway. Okay, difference between post and put and all such kind of things, and there is a head method also, what it is used and all. Okay, so HTTP methods, these are, with this we will not use anywhere, but just there is a like HTTP methods are there some, we can say we use, and I perform testing on these 4 only, no problems. Okay, HTTP methods, and next one, body. Now here is the main thing comes into picture. Okay, and response, response, we should have response, what is the expected response. Okay, so we are going to observe a few things in the response. Okay, when we are testing, that we will see. Okay, while testing we need to focus on few things. One is that we will see anyway, just I will list out for your just understanding. Response structure, I will tell you what is meant by structure, we will understand. Okay, and response messages, and response schema. What do you mean by response schema? Okay, schema is like kind of, suppose I have something expected, response is like id equal to, yeah, we'll see in detail. Just id is should accept, suppose, okay, combination of numbers and something. Okay, so we need to check this kind of stuff, and somewhere only should accept strings, suppose name. Okay, name of the person, only it should accept the string. So this is a schema which we need to validate. Okay, what kind of data these keys will accept, this is called key, this is called value. Okay, so what kind of values it accepts? Sometimes it accepts only true or false, that is called boolean. In the response we need to, so we need to understand, okay, what kind of validations and what kind of response we are going to validate, and how it should be. Okay, so we will go further more into detail about this. Okay, so response structure and schema and messages. Okay, so let's remove this below. Okay, so response, body, response, headers. Headers also, we should have list of headers, any headers are coming. So these all things should be available if you want to start testing. Okay, or if you want to start writing test cases, manual test cases. Okay, business conditions, if any conditions are there, that also we should have. Okay, any doubts till now? Here we will go about, now these are very straightforward, we will have. Okay, we will understand here body, how the body is, and how this body should be given to you to understand in a better way, or to write a test cases in better way for APIs, or scenarios which we are going to perform testing. Okay, so when you given the when these are given to you, you will not have the URL is ready. Okay, just base URL is there, endpoint is not ready because development is doing. Okay, sprint, suppose sprint is started. Okay, and they are building on, okay, one personal loans API. Okay, personal loans API, so we will not have ready. Okay, however, we write a scenarios by seeing the screenshots of the web applications. Here also we are going to write test cases based on the, okay, based on the headers and body. Okay, based on the headers and body and business conditions. We are not going to test immediately until unless development will happen from the developers. Let's take like whatever project I am doing, suppose. Okay, I am working on one project, suppose. Okay, sprint started yesterday. Okay, every Monday starts, suppose. Okay, now Tuesday. Okay, this is second day. Okay, second day. Here I will write scenarios for the API requirements which I got. How run these? I am not testing. Okay, I am not going to test it, just I am going to handy my scenarios with me. Who will write it? Okay, who will write based on these things? Okay, any doubt here till now? No one is speaking, so I thought everyone are understanding.
Yeah, it is understanding and understandable, Hari.
Okay, fine. Okay, now let's go based on these. How we will write that? How we will what things will be there in the body, and how we need to build cases based on the body and headers. Okay, so let's come down. Based on requirements. Okay, based on requirements. Let's come now down. Okay, so now I have one API that is, I think, let's take which is available, because it's very easy to do the testing. Okay, I think, let me go somewhere where I can find out something API. Let's go. I think it should be there, some URLs. Just 1 minute. Is it opening this one? Okay, not opening. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I got all of them. Yeah, this is the URL actually. Let's go to this URL. I will ping here also, okay, to you, so that we will start writing further. Just you can open from your side as well, because yeah, you can also just open this from your side as well. Let's go through one by one. First we will understand, and tomorrow maybe we'll write it. Just let's go through one by one. Okay. Okay. Not working or what? Yeah. So whenever this is a one, this is one get call. This is my endpoint. This is my endpoint. Okay, this is a base URL. This is my endpoint. Whenever I do get this base URL, this endpoint URL will combine and will give me the data. Okay, if I do this, okay, or if I take this and keep in here slash this one, okay, it will show me the data because it is implemented and you are able to see the response. This is the response I am getting. Okay, so I am able to see, and I am getting the response 200, and I am getting the response is this one. I am getting the response this one. Now how to write test cases for this? We will take it. Okay. Now I have a what method need to be performed. What is the URL is present. Okay. Don't assume that we have a response. Okay. It is in development phase. Let's consider. Okay. Structure is given to me. This is the structure it should be. Okay. We will have response structure also. Okay. When you get the requirements, not only the request and headers, response structure also you will have what kind of what kind of and what is the expected response also it will be given to us. Okay, now I have a base URL and endpoint URL. If you come here, HTTP method I have, we will write test cases. So now what are things we will have, we will mark it. Okay, this two I have, and As a get call, I will not have body. Response body will not be there for the get call. No body we pass for get calls. Okay. No body for a get call, so we don't worry about this. Sorry, this is a response body, not request body. This one request body. Okay, so we don't need to worry for get calls. Okay, response headers, and so I need to, okay, we are little below user headers, HTTP methods, body request body. Okay, response request body. This is a response body. Response body, response headers. Okay, so body we don't need to worry for, no body for get calls. Okay, so no body for get calls. Okay, so we don't need to worry about this, and we need to observe the response structure, how it should be. Okay, so that is given to me as like this in a one Word document or Excel sheet. Okay, so I will prepare Excel sheet for entire uh, these things, and I will show you tomorrow how it is. For now, just to see what kind of scenarios we can write for this now. Okay, tomorrow we will go little deeper into, and we will complete the writing test cases. Okay, just let me go through so that you will get some idea. Okay, so now I am writing for this first one, get call. So I have already, I will show you, and I will send you that Excel sheet as well so that you can go through. Not this one. We will write it if required. Okay, now I have a 4 test cases for my that request. Okay, one test case id, test case id like this. I have a test case id. This is manual testing. Okay, for manual testing I am writing scenarios. Okay, I will execute these in Postman once I write it, once development is done by the developer for the that API. Okay, now test case id 1, positive test case type positive, test case description if you want you can give it. Okay, listing out or validating the response with positive data or with all valid details, all valid details in sense correct URL, correct headers for now, as it is a get call. Okay, now what is the request URL I am passing? This is the URL. And body, am I passing something for get call? No. Method is get. Expected response 200. Okay, so this is the one which is first one, because we are passing valid things, headers and base URL, endpoint URL, everything. Now negative test cases. Negative check by passing invalid header. There are some headers which we are passing, right? We are going to pass invalid. You will get in the requirements document what is the expected response code for invalid header. They will give you, based on that you need to write it the expected response here. Okay, based on requirement given. that is it. So next one, negative. Check with invalid page number, because here if you see the my request, okay, whenever I give page 2, okay, page 2 data is coming, whatever data is there. Whenever there is no data in some page, whenever there is no data in one page, okay, response what it should come, it should come empty, okay, or developer will give you what should be coming, whether it is a message saying that no data in this page with detailed description, or not going to display anything with 400 no data found, something. It's up to them how they wanted to display, okay. If they wanted to display uh, regional reason for no data, it will be a positive test case, huh? If they says should display reason, or no data found, some message uh, no records available which you selected in the page, in selected page, something. If you are going to display like this, it is a valid and like positive, okay, this is not a negative. If it is something based on the requirement, we are going to say it is a positive or negative, okay. So earlier it is like they are saying, okay, invalid page number, okay, invalid page number, since they are saying, okay, we need to pass page numbers 1 to 10, okay. If we pass more than that, it should give something, no data found, something, okay. That is called invalid page number. So in the request, something I am passing invalid, actually it should be passed something but invalid. Suppose data is there in 2 pages, if data is not there in 3rd page, okay, up to 10th pages they will show data not found in this page, okay. If more than something which is uh, should not be passed, that I am going to check here with negative case, okay. We will get in the requirements document what page numbers you need to pass, what is the limit to pass. And one more negative, check with, okay, only with HTTP call. What do you mean by the HTTP? Here if you see the URL HTTPS is there, I am going to pass only with HTTP. What should happen? Okay, that also will get the as a requirement. So get calls, okay, you will get very less test cases, but for post you will have so many test cases because body will be there. So based on the body, okay, we are going to, okay, write based on the body, something is mandatory, some fields are mandatory, some fields are optional, okay. Based on those mandatory and optional fields, okay, we are going to write a test cases, okay. If they says name and job is mandatory, okay, and one more field is there, suppose that is optional, suppose address is optional, suppose, then I am going to write test case only with mandatory fields, one test case, that is positive test case, and with mandatory and optional fields I am going to write a one test case, and I will miss one mandatory field value, okay. Job is there but I am going to give empty value here, then the should case, that is a negative test case, because that is mandatory, you need to pass a value but you are missing it, what is happening, that is negative test case. And next one, I am going to remove the field also which is mandatory, it should be there, field key, I mean to say JSON key, okay, JSON key and values is the structure, right. I am going to miss the JSON key itself in the mandatory, then that time that is a negative test case. And next one, I am going to write only with optional fields, no, okay, no required fields, only optional fields in the JSON structure. Okay, this JSON structure will take something and we will write it. Okay, just the time is already 7:30, so just I'm explaining to you for to get a overview. Okay, so only with optional fields, what should happen? That is also negative test case, and I will pass empty data. What is happening? What should happen? That also we will get. So if you have some body, okay, see how many test cases are coming. Earlier in get, we did not get many test cases. Okay, those get whatever we've written here also almost with the invalid header, that we need to write, with invalid page number, that also we will write. Okay, with these are additional test cases which comes with the body and conditions which are given by the requirements, in the requirements which are given. So based on that, number of cases will increase for post, or that is a as it is a having body. Okay, see, we will get the requirements in the detailed way. Okay, which one is the in the body structure, which one is a man required and which one is optional, and is there any arrays, and if it is array, how the values will be, and all those things. Okay, and like this also will get error conditions. If name is empty, if I pass, what should come? If name is combination of symbols and characters, what should come? Okay, something. Okay, job is unexpected something, if I pass job, it should be accepted only string. If I pass something else, what should come? These are called business conditions. Business conditions, based on the business conditions, your test cases will get increase. First we will write based on the body, and next one we will write based on the conditions. So for post, what all things we can write is, first headers by giving the invalid header. Second one, we need to keep mind, we are going to write test cases based on the body, based on the required fields and optional fields, and array objects. Array objects also you will be like this array object is mandatory. Okay, based on those, so we can say body conditions, request body how it is, they will give us that. I will display tomorrow. Okay, with how the body structure should be and what are the conditions in the same like this. Okay, so and based on the conditions which need to be passed, so that's how test cases will be written. So in the same way, put and delete also will have test cases. Okay, if we have some URLs, okay, how to write the test cases for one API is having put call, okay, and delete call. Okay, so those all things we will discuss tomorrow, and we will complete the writing test cases by understanding the requirements. Okay, and next day we can test those in Postman, and we can update the what is the actual result is coming. Okay, so this is how the manual testing is. So we will write these cases and we will put it in the Postman. Okay, now we may get a one question, why we are writing in Excel sheet again? Why don't we give proper names in the Postman itself with names like test case ID, and give the some valid description? That is also fine. It is not mandatory that we need to write test cases in here, but the problem is when you are putting test cases like with the description something in Postman. Okay, for validation, if you want to validate 200 is coming or not, do you test every day by going hitting server get? Suppose I have a 20 APIs. Okay, I need to click on one API and I need to update the status here. Is it easy if you are maintaining an Excel sheet? Okay, that is also one challenge. Okay, like in Excel sheet every day you cannot update the what is the result of this. Okay, so in Postman some features are there, okay, to execute at a time all the APIs. Okay, I have a 20 APIs. Suppose we can execute it at a time with one collection, creation of one collection. We will see that maybe someone, few of them already know that maybe, but few may not be knowing. So, but we'll see. Okay. We can put assertions also in Postman. Okay, not only just to seeing the response. Okay, assertion whether 200 is matching with the expected value. Okay, actual value and expected value, and some message is coming. Suppose expecting message, that also we can validate whether message is coming or not. Now you may get so many questions like, when we are able to validate all these things in Postman, why we need automation? Okay, so many things comes into mind anyway. Okay, we'll see tomorrow, completing writing test cases, and if possible we will keep in Postman also some APIs. Okay, and in Postman also there are some important concepts. Okay, those are like reuse. Okay, API response value in other API. As we are saying, okay, get account is giving one account number. That account number, okay, that account number value I want to use in loans API. Right? In the example, we are saying dependent APIs. In the dependency, we are saying. So now here I want to use this API value which is coming in the response. Okay. That also can be done in the Postman. Okay. Reuse upstream service response in any API. Okay. If it is some dependency, this loans API will execute only if this executes. What does mean by this? Some response value is going to utilize as a request in this loans. That's why that is called dependent API. Okay. Okay, that's it for today. We will see some more things tomorrow, and we will try to close the manual one. Okay, is it tomorrow Saturday? Okay, I will update you in call how many hour based on availability of, if all the people are there, I will take. If not there, we will take Monday, and I will give you this sheet today. Sample API test cases. Just go through once before you write it, so that you will be very clear with this. Okay. Okay, that's it for today. I will send this one as well as, and this one also. I want from your side something you need to do that I will tell you now. Just be there for a minute. I want you to prepare this Excel sheet which I am sending. Okay, which I am writing with the class. I want you to read it once. Yeah, this Agile I kept neat like a final notes by keeping in one place. Please read this. And I kept API testing related few stuff here, right? And I will give those test cases. So read this. You will be very clear with the basics at least. Okay, fine then. We'll meet Monday maybe, but let's see if more people are available. Except one or two, then I will take. If more than two not available, I will not take. It's not good, right? Anyway, you can, like, it's not easy to watch the recorded videos. Okay, fine. That's it for today. Yeah, if you have any queries, stay in the call. Otherwise, you can drop.